Hello and welcome to XCO2 Network. This will be the business presentation, Making a Living from a Living Planet. So let's get into it. Everything you do and everything you see escalated in severity and timing. This has come from 125 years of environmental involvement, and this is what it's achieved. So we have reached a tipping point on the need for climate action, and this is a huge worldwide problem. The disruption to our climate and our planet is already worsening and moving faster than predicted. We now have 5 times the number of recorded weather disasters than we had in 1970, 7 times more costly. Even though most developed countries have become vulnerable, these events would have been impossible without human-caused climate change. Costly fires, floods, extreme weathers. These events are increasing in severity and just about everywhere in the world. We see floods and deforestation and fires. So that's a huge problem facing mankind right now. Planet Earth is dying. We need to do something now. So we're hoping that everybody takes a little bit of time and has a little bit of responsibility to leave this place a better world for our children and for the future of this planet. Right now we are XCO2 Network, and we deliver sustainable climate solutions. XCO2 Network is partnered with the exclusive distributorship for carbon market exchange, a multi-billion-dollar company focused on the creation, development, and sale of carbon credits. We are the dominant entity in the world with the most assets under management in the carbon credit industry. We are a U.S.-based company headquartered in Miami, Florida, with international operations overseeing international carbon projects. We are currently developing projects in Belize, Suriname, Colombia, Tanzania, Indonesia, and Carbon Market Exchange, which is our sister company, is soon to be publicly traded in the first quarter of 2023. It will be a $4 billion valuation. They are an experienced management team, and they have over 130 years combined experience in finance, business, and environmental sectors, as well as network marketing industry. Members of XCO2 Network benefit in supporting our planet. CME's, Carbon Market Exchange, environmental projects are that of offsetting carbon around the world by purchasing and trading, owning tokenized carbon credits called XCO2, as well as future NFTs. So the principle here is we have assets under management, and those are converted to NFT and tokenized. Thus, we have XCO2, the first sustainable environmental carbon credit coin. So we have several projects representing conservation of over 50 million acres. This is a forest that represent over 1 billion tons of carbon credits and billions and billions of dollars worth of land assets. So every one of our coins is completely 100% backed by an asset. This is our upper echelon, our management team. This is me, Andy Morbitzer, Chief Executive Officer. I've been in and around finance my entire life. I've been very blessed to have been a part of networking. It's changed my life from being able to be an entrepreneur to work remotely. Our Chief Operations Officer is Nicole Peterson. She's another serial entrepreneur. Founded and operated her own architectural firm, advising network firms as part of an executive team. She is an award-winning marketer as well. She has trained thousands of people how to start in the cryptocurrency industry. So she is the Chief Operating Officer. And then our sister company, the Carbon Market Exchange, the one we are building the distribution arm and driving the awareness of what's upon us in the world, is Sheena Fortner. She's the Chief Executive Officer, and she is an environmental solutions expert with 15 years of expertise. She is passionate about climate and social activist. She has served on Conservation Officer in Belize. She's protected the second largest coral reef in the world, the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, which is the next greatest in size to the Great Barrier Reef off of Australia. Ralph Carmichael, he's the CFO. He's the one that puts all these big multi-billion deals together. He has over 30 years of experience of financial and management experience. He founded WRX Ltd and built a company at a market value of $500 million. He was a member of an international private equity fund that turned $384 million into over $1.8 billion for investors. So the management team on both sides are excellent at what they do. And then finally we have Rose. She's the director of strategy, which she was promoted from sales manager at Xerox and became the member of the President's Club, and which was limited to the top 10 salespeople in the world. She has an MBA in international finance and coordinated over 11 acquisitions in the US, Europe, Asia, and Siemens AG. Both Sheena and Ralph are attorneys, so we are covered on the legal aspects. So not all carbon credits are created the same. So that's why we're going to introduce blockchain. What makes us stand out, our company, Carbon Market Exchange, is we put an emphasis on ensuring that local communities benefit from the carbon credit creation. It's more than just a carbon credit neutral. See, we can support and help fund local communities and villages where it's not always about the carbon credits. So we provide funding for local communities that live in biodiversity hotspots to ensure their continued care of this land without having to monetize it in ways that degrade the ecosystem. We see it all over the world, just mass deforestation for the conveniences of life, of new home projects that are just everywhere. At least they are here in the United States. The importance of this cannot be overstated because the well-documented negative impacts on conservation that does not include or cater for existing populations. See, that's the key. Not only can we protect these biodiversity or these reforestation projects that we have going on around the world, we also support existing ecosystems and people. So the carbon credits that we have and that have been acquired are considered to be the gold standard in the industry. So they're all nature-based credits and at least have 2016 project start date. Biodiversity refers to a living thing, including plants, bacteria, animals, and humans. So what we do, what we're identifying and why we got involved with this is A, there's a huge need to clean up our earth. We have destroyed half of the forests around the world in less than 50 years for the convenience of man. But we haven't replenished it. We're very, let's put it this way, we have been terrible stewards of the earth since its inception. So we need to fight back. We need to take back some of these biodiversity hotspots. So market drivers. The Paris Agreement mandates a 30% reduction of carbon dioxide greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. So what this really means, the Paris Agreement is a treaty. It's enforceable by law. Every country in the world is on board except 4. This is what we mean by market drivers. This is regulated, mandated by tax. So it's not going to be voluntary. So that increases the velocity of this upward market. And the market drive it behind it is, of course, political pressure. And we're seeing it all around the world. So next we have fixed and declining supply. Right now, carbon credits are reduced every year by design under the cap and trade program. So we're reducing supply, but demand is ever increasing. It's the best performing asset since 2018, carbon credits. So carbon credits are tied to the land use and the development and the reducing of number of potential credits. So lack of supply forces buyers to compete with existing inventory. We have the largest existing inventory in the world, and we dominate 40 to 50% of the entire market. So it's a blessing that we have the opportunity to share and spread the word through a distribution arm that allows us to make a living off of a living planet. It's the greatest thing ever. So Forbes reports that the total volume of carbon credits will quickly exceed the ability of the planet to provide them. So the U.S. emits over 6 trillion metric tons of potential credits and only 900 billion tons are available. Do you see the supply and demand? There's a huge amount of demand and very little supply. So demand outstrips supply by a factor of 7. On top of this, carbon crypto, and these markets are opening doors to further demand because now we can take an asset, we can turn it into an NFT, tokenize it, share it with the public. But the best thing about what we can do is now we can verify the asset, the value, when it was approved, when it was appraised, how it was determined, the value, how many carbon credits there was, where it was, how long it was. All of the blockchain has the information on the carbon credit that's recorded on an immutable ledger that is verifiable by blockchain. So blockchain is changing the world. It is what cryptocurrency runs on. It is the intelligence behind the cryptocurrency. So blockchain will be here for decades to come. That is a definite. So more people are becoming environmental activists and demanding action. 2019 saw a 7,800% increase in organizations taking actions to reduce a carbon emission, and we foresee this growing from 2023 all the way up to 2050. There's two really key driver dates that we need to be aware of. That 2030 is the commitments through the Paris Accord that all these countries and major corporations have made pledges to reduce their carbon dioxide by 30%. And that happens in 2030. 2050 is complete carbon neutrality. So we will see market participants. This is a huge driver in any ecosystem. I liken this carbon credits to early Bitcoin, 2010, 2011, when you could pick up a Bitcoin for $5 or $6. So we're watching this multi-trillion-dollar vertical within carbon credits rise right in front of our eyes. There was the new announcement in Hong Kong. They're opening up the first carbon credit trading exchange. London just approved their carbon credit exchange. So you're starting to see regulation. You're starting to see structure. You're starting to see a whole new vertical and a whole bunch of monetary velocity and money flowing into this industry. And it's every country around the world and major companies. Here's a list of a few: Microsoft, Tesla, American Airlines, Shell, Oil, Gas, Amazon, Apple, Face, all the big ones. I mean, our biggest client at Carbon Market Exchange, I know Microsoft comes to us for their carbon credit. There's Levi Strauss, ExxonMobil, Ford, Honda, Total. I mean, the list goes on and on. And it's not just big corporate 500 companies, also bank and investment firms. And the big one, governments. Every country on board except for 4 banks and the World Bank. Matter of fact, Carbon Market Exchange just approved one of the biggest carbon credit deals in the Indian Ocean for biodiversity. And guess who's right next door to that parcel and that land that they work with? The World Bank. So the World Bank of Canada was one of the very first entities on board. They have a carbon credit tax of about, I don't know, it's skyrocketed up 300-400% in the last 2 years. We got Deutsche Bank, we got HBC Holdings, State of Bank of India, Credit Suisse, Bank of America. So all the major banks around the world are all investing in this heavily. And when you have movement of money, it usually signifies profit. That's where we are right now. So market opportunity, carbon credit organization. We have projects currently underway that could produce over 20 billion offsets right now. So sales and trading, secondary markets are evolving. You're seeing them everywhere. Voluntary carbon markets and exchanges. Well, what will come with those exchanges is regulation, indices that will standardize values, because there's about 180 different types of carbon credits. So each of them, and the future for us, we'll have many different assets that we'll be able to take and turn into an NFT and tokenize it. So it's not just one coin, one asset. We're going to have multiple opportunities with multiple assets all around the world, and inevitably you can pick and choose which product you'd like to support. So standardization, we're seeing it around the world. Governments are creating standards and structures, regulations, registries. These efforts should lead to larger, more effective markets with less fraud. So the industry is being regulated by government structure. But see, when I think of government and structure, it's not us saying this. This is the World Trade Organization, the International Monetary Fund. These are big entities that are going to come regulate these, just like cryptocurrency has been regulated. It'll take years for it to evolve, and that's when the money's going to be made. That's when the excitement is to get in. I mean, at the very beginning of any emerging market, especially one that's going to be tens of trillions of dollars, is exciting. So we can help the earth, we can profit from it, and it's just the right time at the right place. So we really created a retail marketplace through the utilization of blockchain technology to be the leaders in the industry, the first one to do it, and we are the first one to bring a carbon credit with a NFT that'll be listed on a major exchange here in the next, 30, 60 days, to have a distribution arm for us to be able to, the first time in history, really indirectly make income through regulation and taxation. So it's a beautiful business model and plan that I see in front of us. So asset class returns from 2018 to 2021, most people would say that cryptocurrency Bitcoin was the best performer of this asset in the last 3 years, and they would be wrong. You can see here we have carbon credit futures, and this can be found in the EU ETS, which is the European carbon credits market. It's up 587% over the last 3 years. When you compare your options in investing right now, where would you go? I mean, yes, we all want to get in at the bottom, but while all these other indices and all these other assets have been just woefully bad here in 2022, carbon credits has stood out, especially over the last 2 years, even through the COVID epidemic. And I suspect it will grab and trend upward again as people and things come back online and we get back to business as a world. So we've got, your choices are very limited right now on your asset designation and how much money, what's your investment timeline on certain asset classes. But I can see an emerging market and a trend. As you see right now, carbon credits are outperforming Bitcoin. So you have Bitcoin, and I think the entire cryptocurrency market's down, 60-70% here in 2022. The S&P is dropping. It's down 20 or 30%. Had the very worst start of semi-annual performance, as well as NASDAQ. In my opinion, gold is a hedge, not an investment. And gold's been nominal. I mean, there's really different types of investments. You could invest in grade bonds, and those are in negative yield, meaning they got a negative yield curve, meaning the trust in currencies and bonds or the debt that's owed is not favorable. And then we had all-time put options on the S&P 500, which really evaluates the strength of said assets. And most traders are betting against the fiat asset investments, such as the bonds and the S&P, the NASDAQ, and so forth. So in a perfect world, yes, you want to be diversified, but you also want to have some speculative interest as well. So is anything guaranteed? Absolutely not. If you don't have the money to lose, do not invest it. But what I can identify and what I can recommend is what I do personally. And personally, we look for emerging markets the same way we did with gold, the same way we did with cryptocurrency. Time after time after time, we identify these emerging markets, and this is no different. This just happens to be the biggest one that will hit, period. Now, even though a carbon credit is considered a commodity, when you look at commodities, you get in the gold, silver, the pork bellies and such, they've been negative. So your options are very limited when you want to see spectacular returns. Risk versus reward. Is this guaranteed? Absolutely not. But I can follow the money. I've been doing it for decades. My background in Wall Street has given me the ability to identify these types of emerging markets. And when we see them, we invest in them. And we were just blessed to be able to have a distribution arm. And we can make money on multiple projects, multiple NFTs into the future. So this isn't just a one coin, one carbon credit project. We'll have many verticals within our system. We have assets that will take us to the next couple of decades. So we're very pleased to be working hand in hand with the largest asset under management team. Carbon credits growth. This is the projected growth of carbon credit offset demand. The carbon credit markets are still in their infancy, and this is a great thing. And we'll need to see continued growth for the world to meet their climate change goals by 2030. So when you look at 2030, a mere 7 years, you've got a window of opportunity. It's like getting in the ground floor of Bitcoin. And we've already demonstrated that the last 3 years, we're at the beginning of a bull market. We are not in a downtrending asset for the last year or two like most are in the world. So this is a phenomenal opportunity, in my opinion, to get in before the masses, before the regulation, the tax. There is money to be made here because there is a lot of velocity of money. And you can take your pick. 6.6 trillion from Bloomberg Green, another trillion from Morgan Stanley. Credit Suisse is saying 15 times higher. Net Zero, Bank of America, grow 50 times greater. So these are some of the biggest financial entities in the world. BlackRock is the biggest entity in the world. And they're all on board. I cannot stress this enough. And they're talking about trillions of dollars in 15 and 16 and 3,000% returns. Our projects, We provide premium quality, traceable, verifiable carbon credits. If you're planning on getting into the carbon credit industry and you love the concept, but you don't know what's real, that's what we're here for. We're the very first to do what we're doing because our projects address climate change, support local communities, conserve biodiversity. Yeah, we all know that. But what most people don't know is it's verifiable, traceable, and can all be recorded for every single asset, every single coin on the blockchain. So we have 10 carbon projects in our growing portfolio. We represent about 40% of the world's market, and we are the dominant in this industry. In recognitions of efforts of Ralph Carmichael, he was named, now this is the CFO of our sister company, he was named by International Emissions Trading Association to the formation of a new independent governing body for voluntary carbon markets. See guys, we're not just participating. We are proactive. We are the leaders. We are setting the standard. We are setting the value. We are that carbon credit company that can change the world. Our offsets and credits are third-party verified by Carbon Standard, verified in climate and community and biodiversity standards, the CCB, and all of them are verified through Verra. So our projects are valued in the billions of dollars. So remember what I said when I say our token, our XCO2 coin, it's backed by 100% assets. And very few cryptocurrencies can say that because we've got 20,000 cryptocurrencies, but only a handful actually have 100% backing by a viable asset. So we have the best of both worlds. We have a very nicely laid out, very profitable and very environmental sensitive company that is now reaching out to technology, and we're bringing the two together. Cryptocurrency is now blended with carbon credits, and it'll improve every aspect of carbon credit. Belize Maya Forest Corridor. We have 30,000 hectares of land, and you can see the protected part to the left and the, well, overutilized portion to the right. See, a lot of the problem is we strip it and we never reforest it. And we have a project now where we're planting 80 million trees next year. So verified carbon standard, all real verifiable carbon standards really need to go through Verra, which is VCS and CCB. So Tanzania agroforest, and this is one of my favorites because we talk about, you know, building an ecosystem, helping the locals, the villages, and helping meet their needs for food, because let's be honest, food has become a scarcity. It's getting harder and harder to feed the world. So we can combine the planting of trees that sequester carbon, but we can also make some of those trees cashews trees, coffee trees, avocado trees. So we're planting 20 million cashew trees, 15 million coffee trees, and 15 million avocado trees. Again, 2.4 million hectares of land. And they're verified through Verra, VSC, CCB, verified carbon standards. And then Suriname, this is about preservation. 94% of Suriname is a forest, and now we've protected it. 160,000 hectares of land, again, verified, transparent, on blockchain. And then the one, Mafia Blue Carbon, a blue carbon project in the Indian Ocean for the protection of coral reefs and coastal ecosystems. The Mafia is the pond region jurisdiction of Tanzania. And this is important, guys. Biodiversity, these coral reefs generate half the world's oxygen, but they also absorb a third of the world's CO2. So they're highly valuable. And we have 182,000 hectares of land, again, verified. This is our sister company, inking a deal in Tanzania in the agroforestry. To the left is Ralph Carmichael. To the right is Sheena Fortner of CME. And those are the political officials of the governments of Tanzania. To the right, the Belize Mayan Forest Corridor, those group of activists. And if you get a chance, read the sign behind the back. I really love that. And then another picture of Suriname preservation with the president there. Bloomberg, largest news information entity in the United States. Carbon market has the potential to become 10 times larger than the global crude oil market. Now stop and think about that. That is quite a saying. That is, and it's not us saying, it's a third party, very highly recommended financial news information that carbon market is going to be 10 times larger than the crude oil market. Are you kidding me? It doesn't get any better than that. So here is the CEO of Carbon Market Exchange. She's at Hallibur's conference in Dubai. Hallibur's is Islamic, if you will, fintech. Just like we have fintech here in the United States. She was a keynote speaker in Dubai, May 30th. So she is a speaker on Web3, Hallibur's, and of course, carbon credits. She is one of the top 10 women CEOs of 2022 by Industry Era Women Leaders. So she's very smart. She's a great gal. She has a great cause, a great motivation, and a great purpose. And they're making great change around the world. So these are some of the different Carbon Market Exchange, our sister company, conferences around the world, Dubai, Brazil. So they're out there making it happen. And it's all because of blockchain technology. So XCO2 really allows us to do some marketing, some networking, have a distribution arm where we as members have the opportunity to get in on the ground floor of what I believe to be one of the biggest markets in the world by 2030. So we offer XCO2 coins, and they're an Ethereum blockchain technology for those looking for easy method to offset their carbon footprint with cryptographic proof and a publicly audible ledger for accountability. So if you're a company with those needs, reach out, we're here. The tokenization of carbon credit revolves around issues such as verification, transparency, and double counting. So blockchain solves all those problems. So XCO2 coins represent the preservation of natural ecosystems. They protect those all valuable biodiversity, and it empowers local communities to actually profit and maintain their ecosystems. We offer high-quality, nature-based carbon credits. We're the first Sharia-compliant carbon credit in the world. 10 XCO2 tokens equals 1 CMXT NFT, 1 certified ton of carbon credit. So we're going to be listed on a major exchange in 2022, 2 of them that I know of. Total supply is currently over 1 billion coins, representing 100 million carbon credits. So Forbes, another highly accredited financial news company, Forbes estimates that the carbon credits will achieve a price of $100 per ton by the end of this year. Right now, you have the opportunity, because you're a member in the founding phase, to buy coins at about in and around $5 to $6, knowing that they're going to hit the external exchange in the next 60 days at $7.50. So we've had some milestones. This is really a roadmap of where they've come from, how it started, and they started amassing a portfolio of assets, carbon credit assets. And then they did technology, and then they did a joint venture with project developers, both on the software side for the recording of the asset on the blockchain. Understand that we have 75 people that do nothing but assess assets around the world for the intent and use and hope that we can make it a better place through deriving carbon credits. So we donated $25 million to rainforest protection around the world. And part of everything we do, we want to drive awareness. We're presenting XCO2 coin in and around $5 to $6, and we're creating a new financial structure. We're opening it through a distribution arm to get participants all around the world and become part of this green movement. So future gains from XCO2 network. Early adopters right now in the XCO2 network will benefit from a private presale of XCO2 coins. They will hit $7.50 minimum on Kraken in the next 60 days. Founders members will also benefit from exclusive profit sharing. So those that act early, those that first mover advantage, well, now it's the time to do it. Founders program will be in effect until at least November 15th, and this begins a bull run for carbon credits. And we're going to head towards 2030 with some huge climate goals, which will drive the value. So what we're offering right now is the absolute best value for that XCO2 coin. Now, it's not just one coin. The future NFTs will be introduced in marine conservation, forestry, etc. So we'll get in a lot of different verticals and a lot of different assets because NFTs, non-fungible tokens, has opened up a way for us to tokenize or fractionalize different assets so everybody can participate and earn some money from this ever-growing trend of green technology, green energy. It's a thing, and it's moving quickly. So Fortune 500 companies like Microsoft are now looking to the carbon market exchange to be their supplier for carbon credits, since CME may be the only company large enough to meet their demand. To have the strength, the future, the foundation, the experience of a sister company that came to us to open a distribution arm is phenomenal. A good, solid, honest company doing good, solid things with a good, solid chance of making a difference of our planet. And oh, by the way, but of course we can make some profits along the way. So there's a reason why you should be part of this. At the end of the day, it's righteous. It's about biodiversity. It's about local communities and the planet. Earn, buy, trade, and sell XCO2 coins with a huge potential for an appreciation because it's trending. Follow the money. It'll make you money. It's been a motto for decades in investing. So as a member of XCO2 Network, you'll have the access to the best possible value for XCO2 coins today and into the future. So we'll have multiple assets that will come online that nothing mandatory. You'll be able to choose what you want to support, invest in, speculate, hold, buy, sell. We'll have all the ability you want. So as we approach 2030 and 2050, carbon credits will increase dramatically in demand. That usually is the driver for the value to increase. So high quality carbon credits from a reputable company, which is Carbon Market Exchange, with an experienced management team that is heavily active in the industry. They're dominant in the industry with several international speaking engagements. They've been speakers, keynote speakers. So they were the first to bring Sharia compliance to the carbon credit industry. So carbon credits are attracting investors across all lines. Doesn't matter. Big, small, it doesn't matter. So as we drive the awareness of the dangers of climate change, all you have to do is watch the news, and it's one extreme weather event after another. And they last longer, and they seem like they're more severe. We just came from living in Mexico for the last 8 months. We were in 3 earthquakes, 2 hurricanes, and you can just tell the severity, the frequency in which these storms happen. As the waters heat up, so does intensity. Understand velocity and energy, and we're going to have some dangerous natural disasters, but really caused by we humans because we've been terrible stewards of the earth. So analysts have stated that only 1/3 of the annual emissions can be reduced by using renewable energy sources and increasing efficiency. So think about what that means. We can only reduce 1/3 of the annual emissions, meaning a company emits a lot of CO2. It's like putting a cap on it. We can't cap it all, but we can reduce it, but only by 1/3. So this means we have a sizable portion of those emissions that can only be achieved with the help of massive carbon credit purchases, meaning we're going to sequester carbon credits by biodiversity, building trees. It's all in a big cycle. One can't live without the other, at least not for us humans. Trees can live without us, but we can't live without them. So it's a dilemma.
Most scientists agree that an increase of just 0.4 more degrees will drastically change the world.
And the world are dealing with record extreme heat.
Storms have been causing deadly floods.
You could have mass melting of ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica.
If we don't act immediately, scientists say the consequences will be catastrophic.
3 degrees of warming is really disastrous.
Dealing with unprecedented heat waves and drought.
All day today, the rain falling so heavily and so quickly.
$10 billion. But recovery funds are tight.
Rescuers doing everything they can to reach survivors.
Time. What if we could buy ourselves time? What if we could go back in time, undo what we've done, and start over? I say what if, because that is simply impossible. As the world moves forward at an unprecedented pace, we need to find ways to keep up with change, and with time. For the past 4.5 billion years, planet Earth has been thriving, growing, and constantly evolving. And while we've only been around for thousands of years, some of what we've done is irreparable. Now, our planet needs our help, and we're running out of time. In today's rapidly warming world, the climate crisis won't wait for anyone. That's where you come in. You, the decision makers, the game changers, the forward thinkers, the first responders, you who make things happen and get things moving. You can help give the Earth a fighting chance. And the time to do so is right now. There's no extra time.
This is your chance to step up.
To turn pledges to action and put our future back on the right track.
So, XCO2 Network, Founders Phase, and how to get started right now. Right now we are in what's called the Founders Phase. It ends November 15th, and you can select from a Founders membership package. These memberships provide the best possible value and the lowest possible price for the XCO2 coin that's happening right now. We accept USDT as payment for any of these packages, and we pay commissions right now in XCO2 coins. So that if you understand what's going on, you can acquire them now. We're going to pay all of these XCO2 coins that you're going to acquire for $5 or $6. And we know that they're going to be worth $7.50 when they hit the external exchange. So that's built in a roughly 50% return between now and the time we hit the exchange. So any commissions you would earn now, not only do you earn the commission, you earn the equivalent with the XCO2 coin. So now you're being paid with the coin that's going to go up to $7.50 in the next 60 days. So when we look at these membership packages, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 25, and 50, all come with very nice perks to them. We have a $2,000 and a $5,000 package that these were really created to get first mover positioning in the matrix. So by being one of the very first people in the world, for those of you that understand distribution arms, you know that timing is everything. First mover advantage is everything. So even if you come in at a smaller package, 2,000 or 5,000, you still have the benefit of being one of the very first people in the world to be entered into our 2x10 matrix. So when you go from 2,000 to 5,000, you also pick up a leadership rank. These leadership ranks are important because it opens up more of the comp plan for you. And the higher the package level, the more years and the higher the leadership rank you qualify for. So it's very easy. It's our way of saying thank you for being one of the founders of our new company here. And then the XCO2 coins is the amount of the coins that come in each package. So the tree's planted, and we're very serious about this, guys. We've destroyed the earth and depleted 50% of the world's trees in the last 50 years. And we've got to reforestate those areas immediately, or there won't be a future. So all membership packages include 1 year of the membership fee. And then the exclusive benefits down at the bottom, starting with the Gold Founder at $10,000. You get a rank of senior associate, and you also get 1 year profit sharing. And profit sharing is really calculated because it's 2% of the total commissionable value generated by the company paid quarterly. So as we succeed, you succeed. Each one of the gold, platinum, and diamond founders have different values. So that you understand this, there's only going to be 124 founders memberships that are available. Once that's over, it's done. So think of it, you're getting 2% of the commissionable value divided by how many people are in the founding membership packages. Maximum, it'll be 124. So each level of value that goes up increases the founder pool times 3 for 2 years. That means 3 shares of the 124 membership shares available. And then Diamond Founder, it is founder pool for 5 shares for 3 years. So that is the founders phase. Now, As we move forward, of course, the founders phase will end and we will go into the 2x10 matrix. But for now, the founders reward plan, we pay you 15% direct referral. And then anybody they refer, you also get another 5% for an indirect referral. All rewards will be paid in XCO2 coins. During the founders phase, $5 USD equals 1 XCO2 coin. So when you earn a commission, you're going to earn your commission as though it was $5 worth of XCO2. Leadership rank starts at launch. So at launch, we will have a founders pool that will be set up and paid quarterly. And it's 2% of the CV of the company's monthly revenue. And it's added to a pool. Members who have purchased a gold, platinum, or diamond founder package during the founders phase are eligible for this bonus. Only 124 paid out quarterly. And there you can see again, gold, platinum, diamond, 135 shares, 123 years. So very easy to understand. Membership benefits. It allows you to earn income from sharing it with others and helping save the planet, doing something righteous. It's a feel-good networking company. Our cause, the unique problem that we solve or contribute to help solve, is outstanding. So we have an appreciating asset that you can buy, trade, or sell. We are helping biodiversity, saving plants, animals, species. It's more than just carbon credits. It's about a lot of things. Families, homes, ecosystems, villages, Mother Earth, our kids, the future. So you're helping to save the environment by planting trees that offset CO2 around the world. Thanks again for joining us for the XCO2 network founding phase. Please get back to the one who shared this information with you for their referral code, and you can register at XCO2network.com. Thank you, and have a great afternoon, guys.